Hello, people of the internet. I am Last of Gaia, aka Motor City Magic. Doesn't matter. Both the names are fine to me. Anyway, I am appearing on Kevin's channel ever since I did our updates. Ever since I moved away from Kevin, our video schedule has sucked. I post a lot onto my channel with my friends while he doesn't really post anymore. So I've decided to change that with a video for you today on our blue-black exploit for Dragons of Tarkir Standard. The deck isn't really what we would call competitive. Trying not to yawn, I'm so sorry. But it is a deck that we can throw together for FNM. It can do okay. It can do very powerful things if given the time. But if you don't give it the time, then it's really just a blue-black aggro deck that just happens to have counterspells in it. So let's go ahead and start. Now, there are edits that need to be made to the deck, I'm not going to lie, so I'd love to hear suggestions in the comments below. I'll also build this deck on Tapped Out so that you guys can go visit over there. I'll put a link of that into the description when I get the chance. So, 2 Hand of Silumgar. It's a 1 and a black for a 2-1 with Death Touch. It's really just here to be exploited, or it's basically a Grizzly Bear here, just so that it can fight stuff. 2 Necromaster Dragon. This is going by alphabetical. If not, I'd do it by CMC, but I'm too lazy to do that. And it's on a computer, so I can't really edit it around much. So as you can see, he's 3 blue and a black for a 4/4 flyer. When he deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2. If you do, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield and each opponent mills 2 cards. It's in here as a threat. It's in here as a threat because the deck doesn't have many ways of playing cards. Sure, this could be a Silumgar, or a Pearl Lake Ancient, or anything else. But you want to sack your creatures to your exploit. So you don't really want to have too many threats. As it's counterintuitive, but you want to use the zombies to exploit your other guys so that you get value out of your exploit cards. I guess is the best way to put it. He's really in here as a 4th order that makes cards to exploit. 2 Palace Familiar. He's a 2-mana 1/1 when he dies, you draw. He's a great exploit. You could probably play Jeskai Sage in this spot. I don't care. We just have Palace Siege or Palace Familiars. Probably my favorite card in the deck is 2 Profaner of the Dead. A 3/3 for 4 with exploit is okay. It's pretty good. But the fact that he bounces everything with 3 or less toughness is good. And that if you can alter his power and toughness, which oh, I'm so tired. I'm so sorry. I need to really get some sleep, but you could alter his toughness, play like a Sultai toughness deck and play him as the main guy, and just bounce all your opponent's creatures to their hand, or just play him as a 3/3 that attack stuff. But it's really in here to bounce creatures to the hand. It also bounces your creatures for more exploit. 3 Karsi Sadis are in here as Freakus Care, really. 2 mana, Freakus Care. You can sack other creatures, you can sack itself. Done. 3 Rakshasa Gravecaller is probably the best card in the entire deck, if we're completely honest. 5 mana for a 3/6 is but it has exploit. And when it exploits a creature, you get 2 2/2 zombies to use for more exploit shenanigans. Now, if only it had Death Touch. 4 Ruthless Death Thing is what we consider the boss monster. He's 4/4 flyer for 6. When you sack a creature, your opponent has to sack a creature. So let's just say, for example, you're exploiting a Palace Familiar, 2 Profaner of the Dead. So you sack your Palace Familiar, you draw a card, Ruthless Death Thing makes them sack a creature, and everything else gets bounced. Pretty good. 4 Seduce's Faithful is another unsummon effect. It's 1 blue for a 0/4 exploit, return target creature to its owner hand. So yeah, it's just there. I'm gonna kill myself. It's just in here to exploit itself to bounce a Courser. And then 4 Youthful Scholar, when it dies you draw 2. Exploiting does kill the creature. So you do get to draw 2 cards if you exploit Youthful Scholar, which is why it's a 4 from the deck. And if they bolt it, or strike it, or it blocks and dies in combat, you get free cards. So yeah. On to the spells, we have 4 Cancel. It's essentially just, we don't have Dissolves. So, just in here, Counterspell. 4 Murderous Cut. as you are exploiting a lot of your cards to the graveyard. So you'll always be able to delve this Murderous Cut for 1 black. And if you're not, well then you're probably dead. And then 2 negate, just for more counter spells, because you really hate board wipes. You want the one to be killing your own stuff for value, not them. Our mana base is pretty simple, 4 Evolving Wilds, and then 10 Islands and 10 Swamps. Now there are things you could do to this deck, which I'm going to say right now. This mana base could use Polluted Delta's Temple of Deceit. I'm sorry, I'm like dying over here. But yeah, Polluted Delta, Temple of Deceit, Mana Confluence, Dismal Backwaters. Opulent Palace would be good. You could splash Grid in here to make this bug exploit if you wanted to. Me and Kevin just feel that the blue-black exploit version is better. On the sideboard, we have 2 Noxious Dragon. This is just another threat to coming against green decks, as they have a very hard time dealing with flyers. And if they play Hornet Queen, well then, okay. 1 Scuttling Doom Engine because if you attack with this and they take it, they take 6, and then let's just say you play a Ruthless or a Rakshasa Gravecaller, and you exploit this, they take 6 damage, and you make 2/2 zombies. That's just value right there. 3 Voltor Saving. This is just for the Sign of Blood, really. Comes in against the control decks for card advantage. Done. 1 Empty the Pit. Some of you are thinking, oh my god, 4 black, it's heinous. Remember, Urborg is still a standard card, so if someone plays Urborg against you, you can cast this pretty easily. I've been able to cast this for 4 or 5 and just win a game off it. It's that good. 2 more negates, Jeskai Tempo, blue-black control, anything that's mostly non-creature spells that you hate, you bring in these, because you just do. There you go. I'm sorry to say that, I was checking my phone. 1 Polymorphous Justice card is just interesting. It basically fogs your opponent, making them all 1/1s. So, the favorite thing to do is, we don't have Bile Blights, but if we did, we would probably play 2 Bile Blights in the main instead of these negates and play all 4 on the sideboard. But our favorite thing to do was Polymorphous Just your team, Bile Blight, they're dead. It got around Hexproof and Indestructible like a boss. And then the last 5 cards in the sideboard are 3 copies of Duress, because it's hand attack, why wouldn't you play it? It's a very, very powerful card against control and mid-range decks. And then 2 copies of Treasure Cruise, because you're going to run out of cards super fast and you want to refuel your hand. Basically it. And if they counter it, then you basically lose. So that's why there's 8 counter spells in here. Anyway, that's what we have as our version of Blue-Black Exploit for Dragons of Tarkir Standard. I would love to hear any suggestions in the comments below. Again, the deck will be on Tapped Out for you guys to view. There will be a link in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Nick from City Magic. Me and Kevin will see you guys next time.